So you are the principal of a charter school, Youngtown Charter School, is that what it's called? No, Youngtown Public Charter School.
Yes, ma'am.
And you've been doing that for 3 years.
It's my third
and
year.
You did not come straight from elementary school to being a principal of a charter school in Youngtown, Arizona. There was a pathway that you took that brought you here. Why don't you tell me quickly what pathway that was?
I actually graduated with a degree in physics from University of Arizona, and I had a master's in public health. So my path was actually to go to medical school. I had no intentions whatsoever of doing this. And somehow, some way, working research led me to doing something in the college environment with truant students, kids who weren't going to school. That got me involved with the courts, and the courts transitioned me into starting a company that dealt with kids who did not go to school. When you work in an environment with kids who don't go to school, you typically find that there's a bigger problem. And so some of the schools I ended up going into to deal with kids who weren't going to school catapulted me into, why don't you come and help us run our school? And
so somebody actually invited you. They could see that you had some kind of interaction with the children that was going to be of value in a bigger place.
Absolutely, and I actually didn't even start at Youngtown. I started at a school down the street from Youngtown. I was a principal there for 2 years. On a whim, just doing some truancy and writing some grants for their particular school led me to principal at their school. And I left that school to come over here to do some more consulting work, and that ended up turning into an opportunity also to be a principal. And when you walk into an environment, you don't typically always think, oh, I'm gonna be a principal. That's not administration, yelling at kids. Nothing that I thought, oh, this is what I want to do. And then when you get here and you see the love of the kids excited to see your face, the impact.
So it's not a buttoned up environment, it's not a suit and tie routine, but it is definitely a heart place.
It is. You have to
love. Your
love.
heart is here, you brought your heart here, and the kids know it, and you guys get to operate in that kind of environment, and you're making a difference. You're making sure that they get their shoes and their haircut and their good citizenship, their pat on the back. You know their names. They're not a number.
Absolutely.
And you know that when they leave here, the impact that you've had is going to be great. And that's your legacy.
They're going to be.
Would I be right?
You would be correct in saying that. Contributors to this society, good citizens, taxpayers, people who are going to make a difference in other people's lives as they grow up because someone has made a difference in their life. That's the legacy I'd like to leave. I'd like to know that when I touched a kid, that kid was not touched negatively. They were touched in a way that they believed, and they were encouraged to go and do greater things because of someone loving on them and being compassionate toward them and giving them discipline and also directing them as to the path that they can take and having them dream big, have the potential to do greater things because someone was promoting that and not promoting what they weren't good at or they weren't capable of doing it. What their lifestyle or their environment looked like before was not the dictator of what they can be in their future. That's the legacy.
That is a wonderful legacy to leave. And I'm glad you're doing that work, and I know you'll do it for a long time. You're a young woman, you'll get to do it for a long time.